What's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another edition of Track Walk in MX Simulator and another off week in Nationals. So that means that we're going to do a live play of Track Walk, and as you can see, we're doing it on this very wide open looking track. And if you look at the top right, you can tell that there's not really a map. But this track is called Avalon Brush Off-Road Course, and it was created by DJ99X, sort of DJ's last hurrah in terms of track creating before he stopped playing this game altogether back in, I believe, late 2012 or something like that. This was released. But DJ used to create or help with a lot of the national environments back in the day, and through this off-road slash enduro track together, and it's definitely probably the funnest enduro in game, not the most challenging, but it is, like I said, killer fun. And we've had multiple races on this track in sim for like enduro series and stuff like that, and every single time, at least from my point of view, they're always pretty fun. So anyway, I'm gonna take you pretty much on one lap around this track because it is long, and not just kind of long, but really long. And yeah, so we'll just kind of cruise around and have a little fun, and I'll point out some of the more major sections as we get there, the deal breaker sections, if you will. As I said, having races numerous times in the past, I kind of know where people would lose and pick up the most time in certain sections and stuff like that. And those trees that you see me just clipping my right elbow on have collisions, so pretty much every tree on this track has collisions, and you can't just like plow through them or go flying off the track and pick up a lot of time. There's ruts everywhere, there's things like this, there's logs everywhere too. It really is, to the essence, like about the best enduro environment that you can get in game. You can't really create huge massive environments without a massive amount of lag, so this is probably as big as you're gonna get, and get about the longest lap time out of it before it's just completely out of hand. So anyway, just gonna cruise around and try to do this lap with minimal crashing. I think I've only ever done like a lap with one crash before. I don't think I've ever done one entire lap without a single crash on this track. The races that we used to have were like hour-long races, so it'd probably be like 4 or 5 laps if you got it under the hour mark before the time clipped. And yeah, they were long and frustrating sometimes, but a lot of fun for sure. And DJ did, I think, a fantastic job on this track, as he did with some of his other tracks. Like, you could check out some of the other tracks that DJ made. He was a huge part in the Lakewood 2011 track that he created 2 versions for, which was there's a day version which we raced on in 2012, and then like a dusk version, which is more or less like a night version of the track. It was under the lights, and it was real pretty, and it's still a really good place to take like screenshots in the game. And then he was also a helping hand in a track called Fort Winton Sand MX, which is actually originally a track comp track called Sandtown, but it was developed into Fort Winton 1 and then Fort Winton 2012. And both of those tracks really fun, and the environment in Fort Winton 2012, which DJ did, stunning, and another really beautiful track to do like screenshots on and video work on and stuff like that. When you have creators that aren't necessarily affiliated directly with the game or know how to work the game very well, you don't always get the best environments. But with DJ, even though he wasn't like an official MX Simulator worker, nobody is except JLV, I think DJ was probably the closest you're going to get to getting the best quality, low, you know, tough on your computer, not so tough kind of thing in this game. And it's kind of unfortunate that he's not around anymore. But anyway, this track is still here to remind us of DJ's work. As you can see, I'm working through a sand section which goes through trees now, and again, you can't hit the trees or else you go down. And the timing gates are also very unforgiving on this track, so if you're trying to burn hot laps and you think, oh, I could just like skip whole sections, not the case. Timing gates are all over this track, and if you go off just a little bit once or twice, you lose. I mean, you get massive amount of cuts, and then your time doesn't count. In fact, when we did the race on this track, there was like maybe 16 riders that I remember racing, and myself and one guy that finished in like 12th, I finished third in one of these races, were the only two guys to even get laps that counted, and it was a 4-lap race, and we only had one of our laps counted because of cuts were, you know, taking away so many lap times. Anyway, this is one of the more unique part of the tracks. You go like into this kind of bathroom looking area, in and out, and then this part just blows. I was terrible on it in the racing, and you gotta try to weave through these logs and then drop down here and then pop over these tires and then hop over this log and not get too far out of shape. I did that pretty good. I did that a lot better than I did in the races. So anyway, I guess while I'm continuing to work my way through this back section, because we're not to another main point for a little while here, I could talk about the channel just a little bit more. Like, people like to hear about what's going on with the channel sometimes, so why not? We haven't done pretty much anything all week. That's more or less my fault. To give you a brief idea of how we work here, we do have a set schedule that we try to follow. You can usually tend to see our online plays and stuff come out on like Fridays. Jeremy does his dirt rally career stuff on Tuesdays and his project car career stuff on Thursdays. I guess he missed project cars this week, or maybe he's done doing that, not too sure. But anyway, those are usually the stuff that Jeremy does. And obviously we have the motorsport.com national live streams that happen on Wednesday, but there's no race this Wednesday, so those weren't posted. And then because there's no main race, I usually don't get track walk out until later. Obviously it's going to come out on Friday, but normally track walk comes out on Wednesday right before the race, so we can have it on the live stream. This is another really crucial part of the track that's really rutted out uphill, and if you can just notch this just fine and pop right over the top, there we go. So anyway, yeah, basically we've got this schedule. Mondays, if I'm able to put it together on the weekend, will be tutorial videos, MX Simulator tutorial videos, which obviously get really good reviews so far. But if I have time on the weekend to make a tutorial, you'll see those on Mondays. And then if Hinders and I, or Aaron and I, which Aaron doesn't do much of this anymore, but if we did something the week before, this is another tricky part of the track. It's like a rocky river wash section, and you got to try to scoot out of here and get, there we go. So anyway, if Aaron and I or Hinders and I had done something together that wasn't motocross related the week before, that's when Group Play Mondays happens. So that's why you saw a Rocket League Group Play Monday a week ago, and that's why in the past you've seen Minecraft Group Play Mondays. What else did we do? We did Draw My Thing, or maybe that was a Group Play Thursday. But anyway, that's more or less just like stuff that we do, excuse me, that isn't sim related. And then Tuesdays used to be This Week in Moto Gaming. Not going to be that anymore. We're actually changing This Week in Moto Gaming to a different show, and we'll have more information on that in the future. But it used to be a show that Aaron and I did on Tuesdays to kind of address what was happening in the motocross world and other stuff like that was happening on the channel and stuff. But yeah, basically we just decided we're going to change that up. Here's another really important part of the track, this rock section, and this is almost always where I fall. I haven't actually fallen yet, fortunately, but usually don't make it through this super clean, but so far so good. Just kind of riding the wall here. Man, I am doing a lot better than I would have expected to do, having not played sim for a week. Anyway, so normally that was what happened. We did This Week in Moto Gaming on Tuesdays, and then obviously Jeremy has had his videos come out on Tuesdays as well. But again, that's going to change. We're going to have a different show coming up in the future, and hopefully Jeremy will keep doing his stuff. I know his dirt gameplays are getting a little bit more views, and his project cars are getting a little less views. I still think that they're valuable to the channel because they're different things than motocross. We're definitely not a motocross only channel. It just so happens that we do a lot of motocross stuff, and a lot of our fans are motocross fans. But we had no intentions from the beginning to have a motocross only channel. So that's kind of a little hint at that whenever you guys complain like, why aren't you doing more of this? Well, we really don't want to always be doing some, motocross and whatever. Then Wednesdays come around. Usually that's reserved if we're going to edit a video for track walk only, because then track walk comes out right before the race, and then the race gets set up. We have the motorsport.com national outdoor stream before is the Moto Option Supercross stream. So as soon as all the streams are over for the year, Wednesdays are probably going to change up a lot. In fact, we might do some special Twitch live events on Wednesday nights just to have the availability. Might do some fun stuff, get the fans involved. But anyway, that's when track walk normally comes out. Obviously that's not the case today, but I mean next week that's pretty much what you're going to see. Thursday is when we sometimes have group play Thursdays. Again, that's if either Hinders or I had played something non-moto leading up to that Thursday, or Aaron and I did something like that. And we'll edit that together, get that out for group play Thursdays. I know Hinders and I, we've done like Day Z and some stuff like that. I think that was probably when Draw My Thing was a group play Thursday. But the more popular group play Thursdays have been, we actually had one really take off recently in views. It's a group play Thursday in MX vs ATV Untamed, where we did like a variety one with Aaron and I. And that was a lot of fun. And I'm actually really, really glad that got as many views as it did, because I was kind of hoping that the older you go, the more people will be interested in it, because you don't see Untamed very much anymore. And we do have plans on even doing older games. In fact, if you look at our channel back in the past, we had a Flashback Friday series that Hinders no longer does, but he used to post videos on Friday of really old games like EA Sports Supercross 2000. I think he did like Jeremy McGrath's Supercross or something like that one time. He did MX Unleashed, the original. Lots of cool stuff. Definitely would recommend checking that stuff out. But anyway, that's what group play Thursdays are, and then Hinders usually has this Project Cars play, and if we've done any other live streams, they usually go that day, like we have with Loretta's this past couple weeks. And then Friday is usually our most important day because we're trying to attract the biggest audience that we can before the weekend. So that's when online plays come out. That is when something like this, where we're not going to have an online play this week, but we're having a special track walk, that's when that comes out. Different stuff like that. We're also going to have like some edits coming up in the future that'll probably drop on Fridays. And that's again just because the most recent stuff that's our best work we want to have on Fridays so that people get a chance to see it over the weekend. So anyway, that's kind of a look at our channel, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because you might want to scratch all that from your brain. That's not going to be happening really at all for the next month. With August coming up on us, Hinders and I, more or less me than Hinders, but we both have a really big month ahead of us. The first week of August, we should both be here. There's the Unadilla live stream. That should go through no problems. Second week of August, I am gone. I'll be in Utah all week, not for the National, but for something else. And Hinders and I are going to figure that out. We're not sure whether or not the live stream is going to go to him, or maybe we'll have somebody else drop in and help us out that week. And then the week after that, and this is really important because I'm really excited about this, we have myself and my girlfriend Hannah are leaving Sunday, the 16th of August, until Friday night, the 21st of August. We'll be in Wisconsin at Nathan Zaworski's house, and interestingly enough, about 20 minutes away from Nate's house is where Jeremy lives. So Jeremy and I will be hanging out, and that should be good fun. If you live in Wisconsin, I recommend coming and hanging out and talking with us. And I know I already did a lap, and I know we're 14 minutes in, but I'm just going to keep talking until I'm pretty much done with my spiel. But anyway, that was a lap on Avalon Brush. I'm really surprised that I probably just did my first lap without crashing, but definitely a fun track that I'd recommend, playing if you have free time. It's a good track to learn skills in ruts, and I mean, you're never going to need skills in logs, but if you ever want to run over other players for whatever reason, then logs would help you do that. But anyway, I'll be in Wisconsin for a whole week. And the reason that that's going to be kind of skewing things around is if I'm going to be gone in Utah the whole week before and Wisconsin the whole week after, I mean, I'm going to have no time to do video work. So a lot of it's going to be relied on hitters. But the reason why I'm saying is that a lot of that's going to change over the next couple weeks is because we're actually going to pre-shoot by like a week or two a lot of the videos that will be on the channel. And so a lot of them probably won't be very timely if we're talking about in certain subjects. So in like 2 weeks, if we're talking about nationals and we're like, oh, Muscan and Martin, yeah, that's cool. But then at Unadilla, somebody breaks a leg, you know, knock on wood, we're going to be sounding a little dumb, but just, you know, bear with us. That's all just pre-shot stuff that unfortunately we don't really have like the capabilities of doing that stuff closer to the time that they'll be released. But yeah, I'm super pumped about going to Wisconsin, as I'm sure Jeremy and Nate both are. It's kind of funny how that all worked out because I'd never been to Wisconsin. It's not like I personally just go there for funsies. But what actually happened was Nathan Zaworski, who I'm probably closer friends with than Jeremy. We're all really good friends together though. But Nate actually flew out to my house in 2013, 6 days before the Washougal National that year. My house is in San Diego, Washougal obviously in Washington State. Nate flew out to my house, and the next day after he flew out, we drove 7.5 hours north to a little town just south of Sacramento, California, and stayed the night with our friend Daniel Markham and our good photography buddy Todd Gutierrez. And from there, all four of us then drove up past Sacramento and picked up our friend Zach Dupuy. I'm sure I'm just dropping names, and some of these people you know, some of these people you might not, but all these people have a significant role in Sims some way or another. Markham probably the least so, but Nate's OG as can be. Zach Dupuy is your 2013 outdoor champion. Todd, again, a really popular photographer in the motocross industry. And Todd, if you get a chance, I would go to Twitter or something like that at TGPhoto_. He's got two accounts, at TG_photo and at TGPhoto_. Todd actually just got hired last week by Monster Energy Gaming to be one of their official esports photographers, which is totally awesome. Really happy for Todd. Known Todd for a little while now, and really cool guy. It was great fun to spend 4 days straight with him, going up to Washougal, and he shot that event, and we all hung out in like Portland and stuff. It was a really good time. But anyway, so we did that with Nate in 2013, and then in 2014 we had probably the biggest sim gathering, like just that was planned of all time. We had what happened was 2 weeks before the Vegas Supercross, Mike Owen, Callie Midbeck, and Jay Andrew all flew out to my house, stayed at my house for 2 weeks, and then we all went to Las Vegas to see the Las Vegas Supercross, which ended up being Ryan Villapota's last Supercross race ever. And at Vegas, we all stayed at the Mandalay Bay except Zach Dupuy, who went to the Washougal trip with us the year before. Zach and his girlfriend Catherine stayed at the Stratosphere, which is on the other side of the strip. But we all stayed at the Mandalay Bay, and in one room it was myself and my girlfriend Hannah and Nate, who slept on the floor. Nate flew out, and in the other bed, because there's two beds, was Cody Dar. I'm sure a lot of people know who Cody Dar is. He flew out from Pennsylvania, and his girlfriend Sarah. So there's 5 of us in that room, and then in like this like freaking like penthouse suite or whatever in the other tower, like the suite tower at Mandalay Bay, was Mikey and Midbeck and Jay and Mark Zeidler, who's Fathry25. So all those guys are there, and on top of that, Chris Riesenberg, or Checkers, was also in Vegas, and we met with him on both nights, and one night was actually kind of a chaotic night that I ended up not going out because I was too tired. But long story short, a lot of those guys stayed out till like 8 a.m. It was ridiculous. But anyway, the whole point of the story is that, yeah, Nate was there again, and obviously Zach was there too, so a couple guys from the Washougal trip. but I've grown to have a really close relationship with Nate. He's a really awesome guy in my opinion. And so when my girlfriend and I were trying to like put together a list of things that we want to do in 2015, my girlfriend and I, we pretty much lived together. We've been together for over 6 years, and we always try to find like a list of things to do to make each year more and more fun. And we came up with like 12 things, and one of the things that we listed was Nate Date. And that more or less has just meant that we have to do something with Nate, because for the last 2 years we've always gone and actually done something with Nate in person. I mean, he lives quite far away from us, but we still like him a lot and want to do stuff and hang out. So instead of, I mean, he came here in 2013. We both went to a location in 2014, but it was still a lot farther for Nate. So this time we decided, instead of making him do anything, let's go to Wisconsin. I've never been. He lives in Milwaukee, and we really want to go to like a Brewers game and stuff like that. And there's also cool brewery tours, and it's probably the best time to go to Milwaukee is my guess, because Hannah nor I are cold weather people, and it snows in Wisconsin for 4 years out, 4 years out of the year, 4 months out of the year. So we just kind of decided that would be the best option would be going now and spend a week up there, and it should be good fun. And the best part about that is that we're probably going to live stream the final round of the MX Simulator Nationals, which is in Indiana, from Nate's basement. And Nate's computer is like a $5,000 God computer, so we're probably going to have the best live stream we've had all season for the last one of the year. And we're going to have Nate and myself commentating, and I'm sure Jeremy is going to show up and all that. Like, Jeremy's taking 4 days off of work to pretty much just hang out with us. And it's going to be good fun. There's going to be drinks, and it's going to be a great way to close out the season, in my opinion. But again, because I'll be gone, video schedules will change up a bunch. So the channel might kind of seem like it's dying more or less for the next month, but it's definitely not. We are still going to try to pump out as much content as we can leading into and after that, to make sure that you guys understand we're still here in full force. We're not going anywhere. We're still rapidly growing. I can't believe the growth that we're seeing. When I originally planned to do this trip about 2 months ago to go see Nate in Wisconsin, we were putting things together, and I was talking to Jeremy about it, and Jeremy's obviously pumped that we're all coming out and we're going to hang out and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, this is going to be really cool, because we just cracked about 1,000 subscribers on the channel. And I'm like, man, maybe by the time I come out there, and I was saying this jokingly, I'm like, maybe by the time I come out there, we can really celebrate having like 2,000 subscribers or something cool like that. And he's like, yeah, that'd be cool. But we're already pretty much creeping up on 3,000 subscribers, and it seems like a very real possibility before I even go to Wisconsin. So the growth has been staggering, and I'm so pumped with how things are working out, and we have no ambitions on slowing down. And I'm really excited for some of the new shows that we've got coming. I think you guys will really appreciate a lot of them. And yeah, that's pretty much my spiel on the channel. I think because I'm already more than halfway through the second lap, I'm just going to finish the second lap and see what my lap time is. Because again, somehow I haven't crashed. But yeah, just talking, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, channel's going to look different for the next month or so. Deal with it. Oh, I cursed myself just when I thought I was doing good. Alright, now let's really finish this lap. I still have so much fun when I ride this track. It's unbelievable. Fun fact about me, not trying to brag or anything, but there's actually an Enduro Cross Triple Crown this year. I raced the 450 or open class or whatever. I didn't even win the open class. I got second overall in that behind Jesse Mullins. I lost him by like a couple points. But because the classes were split, I actually won the grand event. So whenever that championship happens again next year, I'm the reigning Enduro Cross World Champion, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Because nobody else hosts Enduro events in this game, and there was a 3-round Enduro series, and I was the one that won it. So that's kind of cool. Again, I don't get to run the #1 or championships or whatever very often, more or less because the championships that are raced, there's people that are literally just too good for me to compete against. Like EMF, I can win more races, but I can't compete for the championships because there's guys that win 20 races a year. And a lot of the really quick American guys in this game do race EMF, so that kind of also deters me from winning that stuff. But it's always fun to win little cool events like this. Really big fan of all the Enduros. In fact, I might even do another really popular Enduro called either Sorkatorp or Bankaboda, one of those two, which are created by Hagvis. And Hagvis, another, again, like DJ, unreal track creator in this game. I'm a little less fond of Hagvis tracks because to me they don't suit the game as much. Like this kind of a track is much more realistic to what Sim is capable of. Hagvis is like too realistic, if that makes any sense. Like, yeah, this is a simulator, but it's a simulator to a point, and there's certain things that you can't do on this game and on the bike that would make the things that Hagvis puts on his track a little bit over the top. But Hagvis tracks are still unbelievably fun and a lot longer, if you can imagine that, than these, because he fits a lot more stuff into a small area. It's kind of ridiculous. Wow, 2 fall-offs, and I had made it for, what was it, 23 minutes without crashing? Oh, alright, well, I can finish this up and then finish up the video. And then we'll have like a 30-minute long track walk, longest track walk ever. But that's cool because it gave you guys a lot of insight on the channel and a lot of what we do around here at SYS. Plans to grow the channel substantially in the future. Got some good stuff planned, I think, that should entice more people to come view our channel. Again, the growth has been unbelievably phenomenal in my opinion. Like I'm so happy with where we turned out when I started the channel. I didn't think that we would be this far along this quickly, but that in no way means that I'm just gonna settle and sit on what we have. I think we can really grow this into something a lot bigger, a lot more fan interactive. Should be good fun. On the brakes. Oh, overshot the corner. Brah, brah, brah. Alright, almost done with this lap. I'm guessing it's going to be like a 13 something. I think the fastest laps that we ran in the race were like mid 12 minutes somethings, like 12:30s. Maybe wrong, maybe it was lower. But I'm not entirely pushing it because it's hard to talk and really push and not fall. If I can get this right, I can really just like launch over this hill. No. Just tiptoeing my Jordans over the finish line though. Alright, there we go. 14:03, so just missed clipping into the 13-minute mark. But anyway, that's track walk on Avalon Brush. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do the usual. Check out the channel. You know, give us all the feedback that you wish. We try to take anything into consideration. And yeah, we'll see you guys back next week for more stuff here on Start Your System.